My friend Jennifer Thomas decided to hop on a call just for our team, which I thought was so nice of her. Thank you. So she has like a little bit of an agenda, but I think if you have questions, just put them in the chat as we go or things that come up. I think Jennifer's a pro; she can handle it. So.
And I think I know a lot of you on here, so it's so good to see your smiling, happy faces. And I know I owe a couple of you a response back, and I thought I had responded. It's sitting there half responded and never sent. So I apologize to you. But anyway, thanks so much for jumping on today, and thanks for taking the time to be here today. And Marion has um, just been so excited for January and for this quarter and for 2026. And I am equally as excited. I really feel like we are in a really good spot as a company. We are in a really good space right now, and we have a lot to offer people who are looking for what we have. Yes, there's a lot of chatter out there still about GLP-1 products and getting quick fixes and all these peptides, but now there is also emerging data that is coming about the negative effects of some of those things. And so I really think that we are in a great spot because we can get people the same results, only better results, because what we have to offer helps our body do what it's supposed to do and get to the root cause and doesn't shut our body's own production down of things. In fact, we do the opposite, right? And so I'm just really excited. I'm excited about the new creatine product that just launched. I'm excited about the new change for the triplex coming to the gut health system because it really is the gut health system. And so working on being able to share that and people know exactly what they're getting instead of like triplex, what is that even, right? And so I'm excited about that name change because it literally does speak to what we are good at and to what we have to offer people to really fix things that will help their not just their physical wellness, but their overall mental and emotional well-being because of those neurotransmitters that rely in the gut that can't get to the brain, that gut brain axis. How many of you went to Super Saturday and were able to hear Dr. Shaw and all the things that he had to talk about? Just incredible content that really showcases what we have to offer people and how beneficial it can be. And so I am here because I'm excited to share in this season of life where life be happening, man. Life is difficult. Life is hard. And the duality of that is we can also find happiness and peace at the same time, right? We can find happiness and peace at the same time as going through hard struggles. Not to downplay anything being hard, but I do believe in the power of duality. And I think when I recognized that I could be two things at once, my entire life changed. I went from being a victim of I can't do something because of my circumstances to, oh, I can sit here in this grief. I can sit here in this sadness. I can work through the hard and I can find joy. I can look for joy. And I think some of you know that I focus on something called glimmers that are little tiny micro moments of hope and happiness that I notice throughout the day. And so as I'm going throughout the day, I'm constantly looking for those things. It could be that I'm hearing the birds chirping in the morning and I'm like, oh, it's warm enough outside for the birds to be chirping. They're so excited. It's a new day. They're happy. I can also choose to be happy. And usually I am a happy person. Just most of the time, I'm just happy because I made a choice a long time ago to choose happiness above all else because I know I'm responsible for my own happiness and joy, and nobody else can. I don't want to give anybody power or control over how I feel because I'm in charge of that. I'm in charge. I'm in charge. And it just comes down. I don't know if some of you were on the Jewel call yesterday, but we had some new emeralds come on and share. And one of those emeralds, she came in February and she went emerald in December. And she went through a lull of not feeling good and having a lot of self-doubt and questioning if she could even do this and questioning her happiness and joy. And she realized it just came down to making the choice and committing to sticking to the choice that she made through the hard, through the fun, through the easy, and stop overcomplicating things. And so I'm here to share with you some simple things that maybe we can implement in our daily lives if you're in finding yourself in that space of hardness, or you're finding yourself in a space of I've taken a break and I'm ready to come back in. Or maybe you're in the space of I've been all in and I feel like I need to take a break, but I'm not sure how to do that because I don't want to let people down, but I know I can't keep pushing because I need to take time for myself. And so hopefully after the end of this call, you guys will be equipped with tools and a system and a plan of action for where you are in life right now, and where you can meet yourself for your business, and where you want to go in life, and where you can meet your customers and or ambassadors. So the number one thing is, first of all, do you know where you want to go in this business in January, in this first quarter? Do you know where you want to end up by heading into spring break, right? Do you have a plan? Do you have something that you're looking forward to, something that you want to achieve, something that you want to be working towards, with an end date of when you want that to happen? Because one of the things that happens in life is a lot of times we go through and we have a idea, we want all these things to happen in our life, but we don't ever make a deadline for them. And if we don't have a deadline, how can we be committed to making it happen? What are we committing to? And if we don't have a deadline, how do we know what to show up for, to do every day to get to that? And so I have been in this industry for almost 14 years now, and I've been a track coach, which makes you have to have deadlines, commitments, and a plan for reaching your goals of where you want to be as an athlete. And the same thing is with life and with business. And so if you do not have an idea of where you want to be, or who you want to be, or what you want to be working on by heading into spring break, say by March 31st, that is the number one thing I'm going to challenge you to figure out what that is, and then decide that you're committed to do that. Right? You're committed to make it happen. And that means you're going to get into making a plan so that you know what to do, so that you can show up every day and make it happen. How many of you are showing up every day and you're just a lot stressed because life is happening, you have a lot of going on in your life, and you want to work this business, but sometimes it just feels like you're doing the things and it may not be giving you the results that you're looking for. That happens a lot, right? And so I am here to share with you a way for you to not have to think about Plexus 24/7. How would your life be if you could not think about Plexus 24/7 and have that stress of running a business hanging over your head? Because here's the deal. Plexus isn't your life. I hope that you know that. I hope that you know that Plexus isn't your life. It's a part of your life, but Plexus is meant to be here to provide you the financial and the health that you need so that you can go live the life that you want to create. And so the best way for you to do that is to have a plan, which means you need to take time every single week, dedicate a day where you can plan out your week. Meaning, I want you to be specific. You're going to go to your calendar and you're going to pick the days that you're going to work and the time. And you're going to just put it in your calendar. And if you aren't currently doing this on your phone or somewhere, if it's a paper calendar, if you're going to work from 8 to 9, in that 8 to 9 spot, I then want you to put exactly what you're going to be doing during that time. For instance, maybe the first 10 minutes, you're going to spend going and finding new people on social media that you want to be friends with, that you love their content so much that it jumps out at you that you can make a very authentic comment and ask a question about it, so you can start a conversation with somebody just because you love their content and you want to get to know them better. And the best way to do that is to set a timer for 10 minutes and then set 5 2-minute timers, because you only need 2 minutes to look for somebody new to follow. Because here's the deal. You are not married to following them forever. But we often, I don't know about you, but we go to find people and what do? We spend 10 minutes and we're reading and we're checking and we're scrolling, and pretty soon our 10 minutes is gone and we found no one. And we've wasted 10 minutes. And so let's take our life back. And let's say I'm going to be intentional and I'm going to go find friends and I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes and I'm going to set 2-minute timers. It might be a little tricky when you first get started because this is new to you, but I promise as you get doing it consistently every day, it's going to become easier and it's going to be, you're going to quickly find that you're going to resonate with people very quickly, or you're not. And then at the end of the month, you're going to see that you have filled your funnel with a bunch of people that you are wanting to get to know, and they may or may not turn out to be people that you can talk to about Plexus. Do not add them because you want them to be on your team. Do not add them because you want to sell them Plexus. They will spot you a million miles away. You are only adding them because you love their content. They bring you value. Maybe they make you laugh. Whatever the reason is, that would be the reason to add. Okay. Then maybe the next 10 minutes of my working time, I would be, following up with my customers, right? And I would put I'm going to spend 10 minutes and every single day I'm going to follow up with, I don't know how many customers you have, but take how many customers you have, take 5 days a week if that's what you work, right? Take the number of customers, divide it by 20 days, and then that's the number of people you need to be following up with every single day. If you're currently following up with customers on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to challenge you to change that to be every single day, and here is why. Life be happening. Life be lifing. And what happens if Thursday comes and something happens and you don't be able to get to your work and you've missed a whole day of following up with people who need you? You missed a whole day of finding new people. But if you're consistently working on it every single day, if you miss a day, it isn't that big of a deal because you did it the day before and you're going to get it the next day. No stress. But if you only have specific days to do certain things and life happens, man, the stress and the anxiety and the feeling like you're behind and the overwhelm comes in, and all your joy just is so easily depleted. And so I'm going to challenge you to figure out what are those income producing activities that you need to do every day. One thing I did want to mention, I don't know if you guys know this, but sometimes, yes, it's important to be posting every day. But if you are not going and commenting and following people and liking things before you make your post and then sticking around and for a few minutes and continuing to comment and then answer if people are liking and whatever, your content doesn't get into front of people. Nobody will see it. I have tested this so many times and it is 100% facts. It doesn't matter what my content is that I put out there. If I don't go and talk to people before and after, nobody sees my stuff. But the minute I go and spend time priming the algorithm, immediately so many more people see my stuff. I'm talking 10 people to 150 people difference. That is a difference maker. So if you're gonna need to put that in your block of time, making sure that you spend 3 minutes priming the algorithm, right? And then making your post and then sticking around for 3 minutes. So maybe you need a 10-minute time block for posting and just social interaction in your day. Then I might put the next 5 minutes that I am going to continue conversations with people that I'm already friends with, that they have shared that they have some goals, or maybe I'm going to invite them or ask them if they have something that they're working towards being in a certain spot by summertime. Right? Can we get in the habit of when we're inviting people to learn about Plexus, or if we're inviting them to join us on a health journey or a financial journey, that we pick a date and time in the future and we ask them where they would like to be by that date. And I always want you to think about 6 months in advance. Let me ask you this. If I came to you and I said, hey, you told me that you had some health goals that you were wanting to work on. And I said, hey, if you can give me 90 days, I promise that we can make some headway on this. Or if I come to you and I say, hey, in 6 months' time, you're going to feel so much better if you commit to working with me. I know we can make that happen. How do you feel when I share those numbers with you? Do you feel like, man, I want to do this because you're making it seem possible? Or do you feel like, oh my gosh, that is such a long time? I'm like, I want things to happen quicker than that. You mean I'm not going to see results for 90 days? I'm not going to see results for 6 months? Like, which way do you feel, right, when that happens? Second way that you could share with someone could be like this. Hey, I know that you're looking to you want to lose X amount of weight. Share with me how your life is going to be impacted when that happens. When you're able to reach this goal, how is your life going to be changed? What does it mean to you to reach this goal? Hear what they have to say. And then you could be like, so where is it that you want to be heading into summer? Where is it? Maybe it's spring break time. Where do you want to be heading into fall? If it's summertime, hey, where would you like to be by the holidays? Do you have a thing of where you'd like to be? And during the fall, how do you want to end 2026? And then come November, December, where do you want to be heading into spring break? How would your life be different if we could be somewhere by spring break? I don't know about you, but when I am looking at events in time that are common with everybody, they are coming up quick. They happen so fast that I don't feel like I'm prepared and ready because it is going to come at me so fast. There are no numbers involved. It is just a time and space that people know about. And I don't know about you, but when people share with me those kinds of things, I'm like, you mean that I could be feeling this much better by summertime? I could be losing potentially this much weight by summertime? You mean I am all in because summer's coming really quick, or the holidays are coming really quick, or spring break is going to be here before I know it, or oh my gosh, the end is almost over for 2026. Imagine if you can psychologically prime them to be thinking about how their life can change in just that short amount of time. It changes everything for them because they're looking for a quick fix. Just people generally are. And you are planting the seed, and it is a psychological thing that's been studied that when you can do something like that, you are planting the seed that they can do something in a short amount of time because the future is coming quick. Right? And so what would happen if you were able to do that with your retention? What would happen if you were able to get people results and get away from people who got started and then they maybe stopped because things weren't happening fast enough because they had these expectations of things happening earlier? Which brings me to another point before we get people started. Are we, in addition to these questions, asking them, how committed are you to making this happen? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for you to make this happen, and how committed are you to doing the things that you need to make it happen? And if they aren't at a 10 or a 9, I would say, and maybe even an 8, anything other than 8, 9, or 10, even if it's an 8, maybe, I would say, share with me what would need to be in place in order for you to be all in at a 10. Or what is stopping you from being all in at a 10? What are the things? Because that gives you so much information about where somebody is, especially if people are coming in for the money. Because here's what I know. It's pretty simple and easy and quick to earn a lot of money your first month. And we do that on purpose because we're paying them 3 months in advance of work in that first month, right? But if we don't get their commitment level, and it starts to get difficult, or it's not happening as quickly as they'd like, they might just go right back to what they've been doing because it's worked and they are comfortable there and they know they can make it happen. And this right here is unknown, and they're uncomfortable doing some of the things, and maybe they weren't as committed because here's the deal. If everybody wants to make money, we all are going to say yes, right? Everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to lose weight. Everybody wants to change their life. But not everybody is committed to making it happen because it means becoming uncomfortable, because it means changing who you are. It means changing your circumstances. And I'm telling you right now, man, sometimes I just don't think I can change my circumstances. I have a lot of self-doubt sometimes. And so then I have to work through my mindset and constantly every single day tell myself, I can do this. I have the skill set. I currently am working on becoming better at X, Y, and Z. And then my brain shows up for me, my body follows, and I'm able to actually do the things because now I have a belief system in that. But if we are not getting people's commitment level, man, that's why people can drop off because they want to make money, but they're really only committed to working 4 out of 10. They're just going to kind of try it. And if it doesn't happen easily, we're just going to go back to what we're doing, right? And then once you have that commitment level, it could be as simple as saying, okay, so share with me what that commitment looks like. What does that mean to you on an everyday basis? What are you committing to do? How much time do you have to commit to this? right? Especially when talking to people who are wanting to do the business. And if people are saying no because they don't have time, I love to say, well, how much time do you think it takes? Every time I ask this question to ambassadors or people who have been thinking about it, people who are prospects that I'm talking to at an event or online in a Zoom, they're like, well, I think it probably takes like, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours a day. And then I say, well, how much time do you have to commit to this? And they always tell me probably like 2 or 3 hours. And I say, what if I could show you a way to work this business in 30 minutes to an hour to be successful in the first few months of this business? Could you commit to that? If I could remove some barriers and show you everything that you needed to do and give you a step-by-step process, would you be open to hearing more? Because people think what you do is harder than it is and takes more time than it does. And the reason it ends up taking more time is because we don't have a plan and we don't have a schedule and we don't know what to do. And we show up to work and we're like, what do I do? And then all day long, we're thinking about, I need to do this today. I got to make sure I do that. Oh, yeah, I got to follow up with this person. And all day long, we're thinking about Plexus, which means we're not having fun with our kids, with our husband, with our spouse, with whatever we're doing throughout the day. We have this weight that we're carrying on our shoulder because we don't have a plan. We don't know when we're going to do this. But if you have a plan and you do the structuring like we talked about at the beginning, guess what? When you're done with your time, now you got to go do your life and live. Not to say that when you're doing your life and you notice a glimmer that is like, oh my gosh, because of Plexus, open up your Instagram, take a picture, go to start something, write a couple of notes, go back and save the draft and go about your merry business. It takes 30 seconds. And then you can go about your merry way and you don't have to think about it because you know you already have time blocked sometime in the week to go create and draft that post and finish it. Because I want you to be able to focus on living your life and not have the stress of your business and not having to feel like you have so much to do, you don't know how you're going to fit it all in. If you are intentional about planning your week and knowing what to do, and I'm not saying, this is what I hear people say all the time. Well, if I don't do this and if I can actually change this around, then I will have this much time. Stop doing that. Just say, this is how much time I have. This is how much time I have. Because if you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, we all know that we're trying to like create time that we don't have. Just look at the amount of time that you have and fit in your Plexus. You can make it happen in 3 10-minute segments a day. If you're intentional and you know exactly what to do and you show up to work and you're making and you do the work with intention, not just to check a box. How would your life be if you knew that you could show up in the season of life that you're in and commit to the amount of time you actually have to making this happen, knowing that it will bring you results? Would that bring you more joy and happiness? Would you be able to wake up every single day excited about your life, excited about the opportunity to live, one, for the day, two, for the opportunity you have to find and talk and reach other people and help other people have success and also find joy in life? Think about that for a minute. And then the next thing I want you to think about is, what is the story you're telling yourself that is holding you back from living a full, happy life or being successful in the business? What is that repeating thought that you just keep telling yourself that's holding you back? What is it? Write it down. And the next question is, how does that make you feel? That thought you keep repeating, how does that make you feel? And if that feeling isn't one of hope, one of joy, one of happiness, we need to fix the thought that we're repeating in our mind. And so with the thought that you're repeating, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Is this true? Is it really true? If it is true, what evidence do I have to support it? Is there evidence to support it? If there is evidence to support it, what can I do to make a change and overcome this? What can I fix? I don't like to use the word fix because that implies that there's something wrong, and there isn't. We just are working. It's life. We're figuring things out, right? And so if there isn't any evidence, what is it that I need to do to overcome and move beyond the thought that I'm telling myself? Because now you have a plan. Now you know what you need to do. And then every single day you can be intentional that when that thought comes into your mind, you're going to repeat, like after you answer, what do you need to do? Maybe it's that you just need to change the thought. And instead of saying, man, I'm not a good business owner, or man, I'm really not good at this, or man, I just am not a good leader, or man, I don't really know how to help people, or man, I don't really like following up with my customers. Maybe you change that thought to adding the word yet. That's the simplest way. I'm not good at being a leader yet. That's the simplest way. Maybe you could go a little deeper and say, I'm currently working on becoming the best leader possible because I have a great skill set and I'm learning every single day and becoming a little bit more skilled in that area. You can choose either one. Maybe at the beginning, you're just going to add yet at the end because that brings hope. That brings a twist of positivity, and that brings your brain into going, okay, and it's going to go and find all the reasons that you are good at what it is you tell yourself you're not. Whatever you focus on grows. There's so much psychology out there that they talk about this with children. The most prime time with children is at bedtime, right before they go to bed, because you're prepping their brains for how they're going to sleep, the dreams they might have, and then how they're going to wake up the next day. If it is negativity, they're going to have nightmares, they're going to be waking up a lot, and they're going to wake up not happy and cranky and stressed. The same thing happens with you. Every time, think about a time when you knew you had to get up at a different time of day. It was out of your norm. How well did you sleep? Probably not very well, because you told your brain that you were going to do something different the next day, and guess what it did? It got to work at being prepared for you to be doing something different the next day. That's how quick our brain works. It immediately gets to work to make the new thing that you told it that you're going to do and make happen. It wants to make sure you make it happen. That's how powerful it is. Our brains, my mom used to tell me all the time, mind over matter, and I used to get so mad at her, and I'd be like, well, this matter really matters to me. Life is really hard. Don't tell me I can fix it with my mind. And wow, she was really right. Ouch, when I learned that the power we have was really right, because our circumstances create our thoughts, but we're not in charge of our thoughts. They just come to us, right? But our thoughts produce feelings. And we aren't the ones who, we aren't in charge of those either, but we're in charge of what we do with them. Because those feelings, if we don't flip it around, those generate action or inaction. Whatever, not taking action is action, right? And our action, those create habits. And our habits determine who we are. Our habits become our character. And our character, guess what? Our character determines or causes our destiny, or our results of what we get. And so every time you have a thought that isn't moving you forward in life, I just want you to be curious with that thought. Why do I think this? Why am I feeling this way? No more, I shouldn't be feeling this way. That is a shaming word, and shame does not help anyone. Be curious as to why you're having those thoughts and sit with it. Because I think I've shared with you before, feelings last 90 seconds. And you're like, what? I've been mad for 3 days before. What do you mean? Well, I mean that they last for 90 seconds if you sit and feel them and allow yourself to experience that moment, and you don't attach meaning to it and you don't attach a story to it. It will literally go away, and then you can focus on maybe what caused that feeling in the first place to prevent it from sticking around. And a case in point, try this next time you're sad and you need to cry and you don't want to cry. I don't know if you're like me. I used to never want to cry. My eyes swell. They swell for days. Like, I'm telling you, for 3 days, they'd be swollen. So I used to never cry. Also, I didn't have the tools to cry correctly. And you're like, what do you mean cry correctly? Isn't crying just crying? It's like, no. How many of you, it's like the thought process. We start crying and we're sad, and then we just ruminate and we take this one thought and we make it a paragraph, and then it's a short story, and then it's a novel. And pretty soon I've written a whole 5 series of books around this one thing. And I've cried for 3 hours and I don't feel any better, right? But if you can sit in the moment of being sad and crying and allow and be just like, I'm sad and this is why, and I'm allowed to feel this way, or I'm angry and I'm really upset and I deserve to be angry. And also, what can I do about it? And also, how can I overcome this? And you start noticing the physical things that are happening in your body, right? What is actually happening in those moments when you're feeling a negative feeling? Um, and then pretty soon, the feeling's gone because you sat in it. You were curious about it. You allowed yourself to feel it. Then you started noticing what your body was doing physically, and then you're through it. Because here's what happens. If you don't do that, your body physically continues to do those things. And you hold on to all of that. And that is why they say stress is the number one killer and the cause of so many health issues. It's because your body is holding all of that energy and it needs to release it somehow. But we're just stuffing. If you're like me, I don't want to feel, I just want to be happy. Well, yeah, we all want to be happy, but life happens. It's okay to take a moment. And so if you're having a moment and you're having life in a day, guess what? Take the day. Take the day for yourself. You can take a day and not have a massive loss in anything. But make sure the day doesn't turn into days that turn into weeks, because that's when the compound effect starts to happen. And if you're in a space where the days have turned into weeks and you're not sure how to come back into doing the business, or you're not sure how to come back into yourself for life, guess what? It's a super simple thing. It is just deciding that you're going to do it. You're going to make the choice. Here's what I know. Ed Milet says the difference between people who are successful and non-successful is the successful people show up every day, whether they feel like it or not, and they do the things. Right? It's like people who go to the gym every day and they're committed to feeling good, they continue to go to the gym. They recognize when they need to take a break and they don't go because their body needs a break, but then they jump right back in because they're there because they know it's going to help them feel better. They're not there because the only reason to look a certain way, that's just the byproduct of feeling good. So if you can take that same thing with your business and realize that you're going to make a plan, you're going to do the best you can within the capacity that you have because you've mapped it out. The capacity you have to work every single day, you've mapped out what you need to do during that time frame, and you know that's going to be enough, then you can just show up with intention and do the things and not be checking boxes and not be feeling guilty when you take a day off because you need to take a day off. Just don't make it days and weeks. And if you're there, you just have to make a choice to just jump back in and do the do. You don't have to explain why you were gone. You don't have to explain that you disappeared, other than if you have customers that you let down, I would go to them and just say, hey, I apologize. I needed some space and it took a lot longer and I just kind of left you hanging and I'm so sorry. Would you give me another chance? I really am ready to help move forward and whatever that looks like. But as far as everything else, it's like if somebody goes to the bathroom at a party and they end up being gone for a long time, they're not going to come out of the bathroom and be like, sorry, I was gone for 10 minutes. I had to take a dump. No, they just come back into the party as if nothing happened. So the same thing with your business. You don't need to go and explaining all the reasons you were gone, right? Unless it's part of your story. Unless you can share as part of your story and how it's something that's happening, then by all means, you should share it. But not as an excuse, but not as a reason. Because here's the deal. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. except for the customers that you promised to you would help if you didn't. That's the difference, right? Does that make sense? Um, it really is just making the choice that you want to do the thing, but also I want you to have a reason that you're going to do the thing. If the reason is because you need money by a certain time and you have a deadline, if you don't have a deadline, you better make one so that you can do the things. If that's the reason, but why do you need the money? If it's to pay the bills or to go on vacation, well, what does that mean for you? How is your life going to be different when that happens? What's the real thing? Because if you don't dig deep enough as to why you need to be here working your business or why you need to be doing anything at all when it seems like it's getting a little difficult or you're having a bad day, man, it's easy just to get comfortable. Man, it's easy to just kind of stay where we are and not move forward. Because you've made it work this long, you just can't keep doing the thing. And I promise you, that's the same thing that's going to happen with your new customers if we do not connect them to how their life's going to be different when they make the change and they actually make it happen. Does that make sense? The last thing I wanted to share really quickly is I know there's been a lot in the industry of people feeling like, well, I'm just not a good leader. I really don't know how to duplicate. And I'm like, because you're telling yourself you're not a good leader, for one. And you're like, that seems so simple, Jen. It's because it is that simple. Great leadership starts with you believing that you can be a leader. A leader simply is in the trenches with somebody doing the same thing at the same time that you're asking somebody else to do the same thing. A boss is somebody who is barking orders down at you. A boss is somebody who is telling you to do the things that they aren't doing. A boss is delegating things they don't want to do because they don't like doing it and they want you to carry the whole team. That is not what this business is about. This business is about community. This business is about locking arms. This business is about supporting women and helping each other rise up to be the most powerful beings we never thought possible. And that starts with you, whatever it is that you're doing in your business, in working with personal development, you just share with your downline and you say, this is what I'm doing. This is what I know is successful. Let's lock arms and do this together. Or, hey, I have an idea. This used to work for me, and for whatever reason, I stopped doing it. And so I'm going to go back and we're going to try it again. Are you in? Let's do this together. Or this is what I'm committing to do. Share with me what you'd like to commit to do, and let's row in the same boat in the same direction. And then you vision cast. When you see the people that you're working with, and currently you've been doing all the things, you're going to go to them and say, hey, you are so great at creating graphics and you have so much good energy. I need for you to come into our group page and be the hype girl Tuesdays and Thursdays. I need you to come into our group Monday, Wednesday, Fridays and share an inspiration post. Or can you be in charge of making the graphics for our team this month? Whatever it looks like. Take things that you currently do and find people who can do it with you so that you can raise them up so that they can feel part of a community, so that they can feel like, man, I'm valuable because I'm contributing. Here's the deal. Nobody wants to be part of a group where they can't contribute. Nobody wants to be part of a group where they have nothing to do with the group because everybody else is doing it for them. Pretty soon, a lot of self-doubt kicks in. Pretty soon, it's like, why am I even here? I'm here because I want to help myself, but I'm not contributing in any way, shape, or form. And I don't know about you, but when I feel like I can't contribute, I feel like I don't have a purpose. And when I don't have a purpose, I'm sad. And I'm disconnected from myself because everybody needs a purpose. Everybody needs a purpose. And so leadership really just is doing those things. You've probably all had a time in your life when you've had somebody come to you and say, hey, you're so good at this, or I know you've never done this before, but I know you can do this, and I would love to have you work on this project. And you're like, what? Like, I can't do that. And then pretty soon you do the thing and it's fun and you grow and you become better at something and you feel awesome. You've all probably been a part of, hopefully not, somebody who you went to and said, "Hey, I'd really like to try this. I think I can do this." And then you are told, "You're really good at what you do, and we're just going to keep you here because you're good at this, and I'm just not really sure." Or something like that, where somebody puts a lid on your potential, right? Hopefully, I would wish that nobody had ever had that happen, but I know life happens and sometimes people are just unaware and they put lids on people. And so that's one awesome thing about being a business owner at Plexus is that nobody has to have a lid. Nobody has to have a lid. And if you raise up and work with people and they hit your level and they even surpass, man, how awesome is that? You had the ability to breathe enough belief, to row in the same boat, to lead with intention, provide them with the vision, provide them with enough hope and courage that they stepped into their power. You have that ability, but it has to start with you believing that you also have that power. And I know I've shared with you before that you are your biggest superpower. You, and you. You're your greatest superpower. And you are most designed to help the person that you used to be. Or you're most designed to help the person who is going maybe through some of the things that you're doing in life. That is why sharing your journey and your story is so important and resonates with other people, because that's where they can connect with you. So what are you going to do this month? We're halfway through. What are you going to commit to doing by the end of January with this new structure where you're just going to work in the capacity that you have, but you're committed at a 10 to make it happen? What is it that you're going to do? Write it down. Are you going to focus on bringing in new people and getting them signed up and getting somewhere by summer? Is it that you're going to take some people that you have and you're going to go vision cast and show them that they have the ability to bring 3 friends with them? Because bringing 3 friends with them right out of the gate is going to give them a support system to make sure they get results. It's going to give them an added support and fun, because here's what I know. When I'm trying to make a change and I'm the only person making the change in my family, man, it's hard, because there's a lot of things that we're going to do. And then I'm the outcast and they're like, "Why do you have to be doing this right now? We're all doing something else and you're doing something different." And so it's pretty easy for me to just be like, "Okay, I'm not going to stick with the things. I'll just do it. It's what we always have done." But if people can come in with 3 friends, and those 3 friends plus you are invited to a party or you're invited to things, you have an army of people doing the same things. And so it's easier to stick to your commitments. It's so much easier to have those added support, and it's a lot more fun because, hey, I can message my friend and say, "Oh my gosh, I pooped like 6 times yesterday. Did that happen to you?" Right? Because they want to share their wins with people that they love and know. And if they don't have somebody going through the journey with them and they're telling that, people are like, "Ooh, why are you sharing that with me? Like, gross." Right? So that would be a really good reason for people to bring their friends along. And then on top of bringing their friends along and having more fun and support and an added system, they can have their products paid for. They can earn some extra cash. They can, if they wanted to start a business, they can. What if you decided that you were going to let everybody know that the business was available and you could share that information, but then you were going to be very specific in asking just a few people, looking for one person to say yes, that you can get to gold at the end of first quarter, meaning that you're going to handhold them, meaning that you're going to say, "I'm going to do these things with you. I'm going to show you." That means I'm going to send everything that I'm doing. I'm going to send it to you and I'm going to say, "This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm doing." Like your little map that you have. And then say, "Here's what I'm going to say. Reach out to these people, make this message your own." And you do that. And then you say, put your people in 3-way chats. And you're the one closing the deal. You're the one sharing the information while this new person is on the call. And then after 3 or 4 weeks, it switches to where you're doing it together, where you might pick, "Hey, I'm going to do this today. You're going to be in charge of sending me messages. We're going to share what we're going to be sharing every single day so that we're working together. And then I'm still going to be in your three-way chats, but I want you to kind of take the lead, and I'm going to be here to support. And we're going to close together. And then by 3 or 4 weeks, they're going to be almost at gold, maybe even senior gold. And now they're ready to do it on their own, which means guess what they're going to do? They're going to repeat the process. They're going to find somebody, one person at a time, that they can handhold. I'm not saying only bring one new person in. And I'm not saying that the first new person is going to be your person. You could have somebody who's been with you for a while that you can handhold. Whoever that person is that you really want to lock arms with and grow because you know that you want to work with them and they have potential, that's where you pick, right? Because if you're trying to handhold a bunch of people and you're trying to get a bunch of people to take off, man, you don't have the bandwidth for that. You can invite them and you can share with them and you can let them do the things and you can share, but you just can only probably have the capacity for one person. You probably have the capacity for two people in the same chat thread, but I don't know that you have a capacity to close deals for three people's businesses. That's where the kicker comes in. So whatever capacity you have, but how would your business be different if you were able to just pick one person every 3 months and you get them to gold or senior gold? They would be solid because you showed them how to bring people in and have retention and how to close the deal and how to duplicate, and they're going to continue duplicating. You'll have a minimum of 4 solid gold legs. That's 400 points. If you got them to senior gold, that's 1,000 points. Or sorry, that's 250. Yeah, that's 1,000 points in 1 year's time. And that's not even counting the other people that you're bringing in and getting them to bring their 3 friends. And here's the deal. Some people just want to stay at silver. Let them be at silver. But you know the ones that you want to work with. What would happen if you just decided that, you know what, my business is going to grow because I'm going to bring new people in. The people that got me where I am today are not the ones that are going to get me to the next level. I need them. I need to take care of them. Need to bring new people in. Need to forecast a vision. Need to find one person every 3 months that I can help build to gold, senior gold. And then I'm going to have 4 solid gold legs. That's what happened with one of our emeralds. That's what she decided to do this last year, and it worked. So just decide, commit, and then show up within the capacity, but allow yourself in the moments that you need to take a break to take a break. But be curious as to why you need to take a break. Because if you're needing to take a break because you're not finding joy, we need to figure out how you can find joy in this business again. What is it that can make it so you're ready to jump out of bed and do the things? That right there is so, so, so important. And I honestly know, it's not even that I think, if you can have this plan where you take the capacity that you have, you take the time that you have to work, and then you write exactly what you need to do with the time and then the number of people that you're going to contact during that, and you be consistent every single day doing the same activities. Obviously with posting and things, you might need to have some extra time somewhere. Then you can go live your life. And the stress of what you have to do or don't have to do or did or didn't do is gone, because you know you have it on your calendar and you know you're going to show up and get it done because you're committed to making it happen. How would your life be different if you could take your life back and then use Plexus to give you your life instead of it being your life? Anybody have any questions? No questions? Tell me what you're most excited about for the first quarter of the year.
So I'm excited about the concept of a new mentee every 3 months and just partnering with that person. So I just need to find my one to mentor, and I just focus on one and no more. Love that.
Yes.
And I'm an HR person, and when you said that people need to connect right away, that's what people need to do. Like when you hire someone, they need a job right away.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, Joyce. Yes.
yep.
Yep. Mentoring one person while you're continuing to bring other people in, you're just really helping that one person move forward. Because trying to help everybody move forward, unrealistic. Unrealistic. Yep, because you can't really pour into somebody. Because you can't pour into, at least I can't. I can't help 10 people at one time doing the work I'm talking about. I can help people get results and I can take care of my new customers and I could bring new people in every month. But yeah, thanks, Joyce. I love that. Development bonuses. Yes, 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 yes. And how cool is it that corporate has given every new VIP since December and into January three $10 off coupons that they can share with their friends to go silver right away. And then you're going to come in and say the reason you want to bring your three friends is because it's going to be an added support system for you. It's going to be a lot more fun. And studies show that you're 80 to 85% more likely to be here a year from now, still on the road to health, happiness, right? Hope, health, and happiness and feeling good. $10 off coupons. Like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. But we all know they're not going to get results in 30 days. But we're going to forecast a time in the future that they can relate to. Here's the other thing. People want quick fixes, right? People want quick fixes, but quick fixes don't last. But you don't want to tell people that because nobody wants to be told anything. But you can ask questions like, what, share with me, what quick fixes or how they've worked for you in the past and what you love about them. And then what hasn't worked and what didn't you love about it. You lead them to the answer that they don't work and that they're constantly having to start over. And it's like, what if I could show you a way that you didn't have to start over? This is your last time starting over. Especially for people who want to lose weight. The magic happens in months 4, 5, and 6, and 7 because of cellular regeneration. And you finally have a whole new cellular structure on that 4th, 5th, and 6th month. And so you've gotten rid of those toxins and now your body is starting to do and be supported to do what it's meant to do. And we end up having people losing just as much, if not more weight than people on Ozempic. And they don't come with all the side effects and they don't come with losing muscle mass and they don't come with all the things that those peptides, have to offer because they shut down GLP-1 production. And then when they go off of it, they're starving because literally they have nothing in their body to tell them they aren't. They have nothing to signal that they're full. And we have products, if you haven't learned all the awesome things about the increase of Akkermansia with our Slim and what that does for our brain and how our Slim hunger control helps people feel satiated, like maybe you map in, once or 2 times a week that you're going to go spend 5 or 10 minutes learning about specific products so you can become experts in that. Those little things matter when you're sharing with people about how we're different and how we can change their life. So pick one thing you're going to do different the rest of the month and stick with it and make it a habit. And when that is done, then we're going to add something else so that we're not overwhelmed and that we can feel joy and happiness. And the last thing I will say when adding new people is people say yes and they're motivated because they're in action and they just purchased something. They're in action. Motivation comes from action. It doesn't come from wishing that it was going to happen. It happens as soon as you take action. So what can you do to keep the people once they say yes and they purchase to stay in action? Simple. You can say, we're going to start on one micro habit that you can work on until your products come, and then for the first month, we're just going to continue doing this. Do you want to increase your water? Do you want to track your steps? Do you want to start going to bed at the same time and getting up at the same time, working on that circadian rhythm? Do you want to maybe get morning sun and noon sun? Would you like to start adding in more fruits and vegetables? I'm a huge fan of adding things in and not taking things out. We're not going to stop this and we're not going to stop that because you're psychologically, it just doesn't work. But adding things in has a natural way of making it so your body gets the nutrients that they need and those cravings go away all on their own. And they get full and they're not hungry. And so what can they get started on? Because it's going to help them get quicker, faster results with Plexus because you're just supporting your system in another way to keep them in action, to keep them motivated moving forward. Because I know a lot of you have had people sign up and then they don't even get started on the product. And you're like, what? It's because too many days passed where they weren't in action and they lost the excitement for what they were about to do. And I think I've shared with you before, it's like when you don't want to clean your house and you know you have to do it. And when you finally commit to doing it, all of a sudden you don't have enough time because you're motivated to do the whole thing. You're motivated to do everything you've put off for 6 months, all the deep cleaning, all the things. It's because you're in action. Thanks so much, Joyce. I guess you already dropped off.
Thank you,
And I
Jen.
have another call too. So, does
Yeah.
anybody have any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Um, so I've had this happen, and I think because you were sharing some things that maybe this could be relatable. I've had a lot of times where people will get started and then they get this, what I think has more to do with the money is where they'll drop off Slim but stay on Probio 5 and BioCleanse. Um, and different people are different reasons or whatever. They'll give me different reasons. I'm wondering if there's a way to um, how to navigate that to help them, even if that's their choice and that they live there, how to get them back to really consider that. I mean, obviously, the main things like I talked to them about how they all work together and you know what I mean, all of that. But it's like somewhere along the line is like in their mind that it's more manageable to have BioCleanse or ProBio 5. Even if you've talked to them about getting a friend to do it with them and all the, you know what I mean, the other options, and they just don't want to do that. I don't know if that makes
Have
sense,
you
but I,
asked them what is their overall outcome? What are they looking to achieve with taking ProBio 5 and BioCleanse?
yeah. The reason a lot of times some people will stop Slim too is because they don't like the taste or stevia is the issue or it's too sweet for them. And we try to overcome those objections with
Right.
the options, but it's like for them, the capsules might be easier or whatever. So then they'll like they go that route. And I just feel like, I mean, I'm just a huge believer in the whole package. So, you know,
Well, one of the things about Slim, and I would go look at all of this information that we have to share about how incredible these products are, is that it really does work with metabolic health, meaning blood sugar. They are tracing almost every disease, if not every single disease, back to blood sugar balance. And so Slim is very important in people taking because especially as we age and get older, our bodies become less and less able to balance our blood sugars quickly. And Slim does that for you because it comes in and fills in the gaps and the missing nutrients that we don't have to make that happen. And so that would be but I would again be curious about what it is they're looking to achieve and what it is that they are hoping is going to happen. And then you can share, ask them if they'd be open to hearing really the benefits of this product and what it does. And if the taste is the matter, it could be like, can we focus on this as medicine for our bodies that we are supplementing? Can we not be drinking it because we like the flavor? Can we just decide, I know this doesn't taste great, but I know it's going to make me feel a certain way because it's a patented ingredient, meaning there's proof that it actually does what it says it's going to do. And if I can fix my metabolic health, I can fix a lot of health issues. And go, like, we have data in there about Akkermansia. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but it's incredible that it helps our bodies make more of it and gets to our brain and helps with other things. And so I think it's tying it back into what are they actually looking to achieve with taking Plexus, and then how can, and here's the thing, people are usually saying no to something because they lack belief in themselves and their ability to actually change their life because they've never been able to do it before. They've tried and failed, tried and failed. So why would this be different? They're saying no because they don't believe they can do it. It's just it. They don't believe that they can do it because they've never done it before. And they also are not saying yes just because of the products. They are saying yes because of how you are going to make them feel about the outcome they're going to get. That is why they're saying yes. They're buying from you because of how you make them feel about the outcome. Does that help, Dawn?
yes, thank you.
Yep.
I've just had it happen like quite a few times recently that's made me go, huh. How, but I love the whole, you know, they're saying no because they've never done it before. And I read that is particularly what just someone recent is.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And then you can connect them to, so if you were able to have it happen, how would your life be different? Like, what would it mean to you? And but then really getting that commitment level, because here's the deal: if we aren't committed at a 10 and we start plexus, man, and we don't get results when we think right, unrealistic expectations that people have, it's just easy to walk away. They don't have a deeper reason to stay. They didn't get connected to how their life would be different. And they've been doing this for forever. It's just life is just going to how I'm going to be. And epigenetics is huge. Epigenetics is huge. I don't know if you know about that, but it's the ability that we have to actually change our genes. What our grandparents caused by drinking soda or by being alcoholics and drinking too much alcohol, we can actually change our genetic makeup today. That's cool. That's cool. And Plexus products come in and help our body do what it's supposed to do that it's been lacking. The biggest thing I want you guys to walk away with today is hope. Hope in knowing that you can do this business in the capacity that you have, and just don't compare yourself to anybody else. Please don't compare yourself. It is the thief of joy. It is literally the thief of joy. Just find your own happiness and your own peace and figure out what you need to do to just hold on to that. Because overall, that is the goal of the founders of this company, to have hope, health, happiness, and peace. That's it. I'm excited for you guys. I know you've all been here for a while and you've had some ups and downs and some highs and lows. And I know that whatever you decide you want to do within this business, it can happen for you, and that you can find that joy and happiness. Every single one of you have the skill set, and you have everything within you to succeed. Sometimes we just have to find it because we've lost it somewhere, but it's there. It's there. Filling your funnel, really, 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 really important. Every day, make sure that's on your list. Finding new people that you can genuinely, that why it can happen in 2 minutes is because it's either going to speak to you and you're going to be like, this is awesome, or it's going to be like, and you just keep going. Okay? Thanks so much for showing up today, ladies. I'm excited for you. It's going to be awesome. Here's to bringing in new people, getting people silver, and taking that one person all the way to gold, senior gold every quarter. All right. Have a good day, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.